HiyaHiya knitters and crocheters. This week in Create to Donate, I've been making these mask buddies. There's been a lot of these patterns floating around on Ravelry and Facebook at the moment. It's an item you can make for people on the front line of fighting COVID-19. Now they regularly have to wear face masks, they regularly have to change them, and having to wear them for such long amounts of time has caused irritation, cuts, reactions behind their ears where the masks are just rubbing from being there all day. So the idea of these, I'll show you that one, is to pop this on the back of the head, and then rather than the straps of the mask going over the ears and staying there, they stretch a little bit further and hook onto these buttons, alleviating the stress and irritation from having them on the ears all day. The patterns I've been following for this, or the suggestions I've been following for this, I found on the Norfolk Knitters and Stitchers Facebook page. The post that I followed was posted by Paula Gard, so thank you for this one. And she has suggestions on there of different ones to crochet and to knit. So today I'm going to show you how I knit them. As you probably know from previous videos, Instagram Live, things like that where I've talked about this, I am not the strongest crocheter and I am still learning. So it's a little bit wonky. This was my first attempt at a crocheted headband. This one went a little bit small but is a bit neater. There are specifications to this, so ideally you want to use big buttons as the workers won't be able to see where they're hooking the masks over, so they need something easy to hook onto. However, I have got some on order now because I've realised how few I've got left. Got some of these lovelies to work with and a lovely jar of animal ones. So I'm going to make a mix of them, different styles, different patterns, and see what I can make up from random yarn I've still got left. The yarn I'm going to use to show you how to knit one of these, I've just done one before. Here's one I made earlier. This is Rivington by Mulberry Yarns. It is a double knit and it's just a gorgeous fade of different greens. So there was a crocheted pattern on the page that was shared and mentioned before. The knitted pattern, however, I found in the comments that was suggested was by Sandra Hughes, so thank you for this. And she suggests knitting in DK yarn. She has suggested a 3.25mm needle. I believe these are 3mm, and my 3.25 are on another project at the moment, but these are HiyaHiya interchangeable bamboo needles at 3mm. So to start you need to cast on, well it is suggested to cast on 28 stitches, and please excuse my little decoration, fun cutting potatoes the other day. Once you've cast on 28, it is simply garter or moss stitch for 1.5 inches. Now, like I said before, this is something I found through Facebook. There are plenty of patterns on Ravelry, and I will try and link as many below as I can to get you guys started. Now, there are plenty of people who will benefit from these. I'm currently knitting and crocheting as many as I can for our friends and family who are working the front line of this in hospitals. Can't do much, but at least I can do this. There are so many suggestions I have seen online that's where these can be donated to. Care homes is a main one. Obviously people in hospitals. We actually do have a care home nearby that I might be able to do a few for if they're interested in. So my main suggestion is, if you haven't already, pop online, search locally where you think could benefit and just get in contact. Now, if you are new to knitting, this is essentially smaller than doing a swatch. You don't need to keep an eye on your gauge. It doesn't have to be the neatest thing in the world. As long as it is a stretch of fabric with 2 buttons, you're providing something that will help a lot of people right now. You will have to check with the place you're making these for whether you are to wash them for them or whether they will once you've sent them there. I'm going to give these all a wash before I send them out to the family members who are going to be receiving them. I have washed my hands, I have changed plaster, but still just want to be careful. Once you've done about 1.5 inches, time to cast off. Now I am doing knit 2 together, slip it back on, knit 2 together to cast this off. The key thing is the yarn has to be okay being washed at 60 degrees minimum. This is to ensure disinfecting and cleanliness. And then I grab my puppy snips. So all that's left to do now is to weave in my ends and then sew 2 buttons either side. And there you go. There is one mask buddy, although this one looks a little bit like a frog. Cute. Like I said before, there are patterns online for both knit and crochet. As I prefer knitting, these are the ones I've done, and as mentioned at the start, my first attempt at crocheting some. That pattern is simple single crochet, even though I mucked it up there, but working on it. For now I'll just show you this, but once I've perfected my crochet and improved a bit, I'll post some photos on our Instagram and Facebook for you to see. These are an excellent project to work on. I will put links below to all the references I've got for patterns. I'll put a link as well to Norfolk Knitters and Stitchers, as I think they're an excellent group for local charitable causes. Head over to our Instagram, our Facebook for daily updates on Knitspiration and coverage of our retailers and different things that are going on within the HiyaHiya community. And until next time, happy knitting and crochet!